It was a trick to get you here. Okay, wonderful. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle Rose. I am your detective at the Sanibel Police Department. I'm bringing this to you today because the banks had invited me to do these presentations at the banks because of the money loss. I've gotten some great feedback from it, so I decided to put this can get out of jail today. That's an OR bond where they pay nothing. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll call the family member and say, hey, this is Lieutenant Brown from the Lee County Jail. Your spouse or your son or your grandson is being released from jail or can be released from jail, but the only way they can get released from jail is have an ankle monitor on them, and you have to pay for this service. This individual will go on and tell you how to pay this, sending them money, and you're going to send it. They're going to take your money, and he's still sitting in jail. Your family member, whomever, is still in jail because this is not true. The Lee County Jail will not call you. Any commander, lieutenant, sergeant, whatever they're using, is not going to call you from the Lee County Jail and say, hey, you pay me this for this ankle monitor, that you have to pay for the service. That is a scam that I am seeing right now. Okay, and the jury duties. From your local police department, we've had this here on Sanibel, where an individual called one of our businesses here on the island, and they said, there's a armed robber or a robber on the island. Take the money out of your till that you have right now, bring it over behind, I think it was where the jewelry store is, Periwinkle Park. Meet us over there, give us the money, we'll hold on to the money until the situation has been resolved. Well, here's the thing. Us at the police department, any member of our police department is going to call you and say, take your money, bring it to us for safekeeping. We do not do that. The person that this happened to almost fell for it had it not been for another employee going, that's not right. These people are smart. They're the greatest con artists you'll ever meet. And they know information that you would think they shouldn't know this, especially your bank account number, your social security number, your date of birth, but they do.
Well, could you set up a arrest behind the jewelry store?
If we would have had knowledge that that was going to happen. But we don't, we don't know it's happening because the person that's doing it, we don't even know he's doing it. The only way we knew about it is the business person called us after it happened. Yeah. Okay, banks and businesses. Scammer claim there's an issue with your account and ask for your personal information or to verify your account number to convince you to withdraw cash or transfer money to a safe account that they control. Once they have your account information, they actually have control, and they can control remotely if you're on your computer or on your phone. They can wiggle it around and go, is this your checking account? Is this yours? So, and I'll go into detail about a case that I actually had. They will pretend to be from your bank's own fraud department, and they will tell you things like, the bank manager is being investigated for theft or fraud, and they'll say, you better go get your money out because we're coming in, so take your money out, bring it to us, we will hold on to it until this situation has been resolved, and then we'll give you your money back. They give you the promise that they'll give you the money back. I've had this a couple of times. I've had a couple of victims on this scam right here. They will tell you to go draw out money, a certain amount. You'll go do it. Then once you've drawn, and they stay on the phone with you the whole time to make sure you're doing everything they've instructed you to do. You'll draw your money out. Then you'll go home. Then they'll tell you, okay, take the money and put it into put it together, wrap it in aluminum foil or cellophane or bubble wrap, and put it in a box and tape that box up So you're packaging your own money. I cannot track down cash. Ladies and gentlemen, if you give them cash, it is gone. Okay? So what they do is they instill this fear that this bank personnel is a criminal, or they've stolen your ID and they're giving your ID out. They are instilling that fear, that sense of panic, that you have to protect your money. And this is the only way to do it. They will even go as far as to say they are from the FBI and that you're going to have to be a part of their investigation. And if you fail to be a part of this investigation, you too can be in legal trouble. This is not true. I will tell you right now, if any banking person is under an investigation for financial crimes, fraud against customers, and the bank has that information, they're not calling the customer. Because that's taboo, I guess you could say, that they would never call you and say, go take your money out. If anything is going on with that bank, the only time you're going to find out about it is if you're going to the bank to draw out some money and the FBI is standing out there and they're not letting you in. Then you might find out something's going on. You know what I mean? But they're not going to call you on the phone and ask you to withdraw money and package it up in a nice little bow. And then they're going to send a courier, or a field agent is another word that they use. Courier, field agent. They're going to come to your house and they will pick it up. No, absolutely not. Ever will that happen with the FBI or any government agency. We don't send couriers and field agents out to collect your money. This one's an old one. They pretend to be from a utility company. I've seen a lot of senior citizens fall for this one. You didn't pay your water bill. Or you got to pay your water bill. You got to pay it today. Or your power bill. Well, we don't want to be without power or water. It instilled, there you go again, there's that panic, or we're going to shut you off. If you don't pay, I'm going to turn your power off, I'm going to turn your water off. So what do? They tell you to go get a prepaid credit card. Go to Walgreens, go to Walmart, get a prepaid credit card, send it to this. And we won't turn off your water or your power. Well, no utility company has ever, in the history that we've been paying our bills, has asked us to go get a prepaid card. They send a bill, write us a check, or you go onto your own apps that you have on your phone to pay your bill. I pay most of my bills through an app. Actually, I think I pay all of them except the cars. I go to the bank and pay those. But you pay them through your app. So that's not normal, okay? So that too is a scam. And Xfinity, and your cable company. Yes, all of them. It can happen. So the common practices that we just went over are urgent requests for money. Scammers create the panic by saying you must act immediately to avoid legal trouble or being arrested. Ask for payments through untraceable amounts, your prepaid credit cards and your cryptocurrencies. And we're going to get to cryptocurrency here in a minute. Again, legitimate organizations will not ask for payments via gift cards, wire transfers, and cryptocurrency. They just won't. So if this is happening, if you're on a phone call with somebody and you start picking up on those cues that this is not real, stop. Hang up that phone. You do not have to talk to these people. Will they call you back? Probably. Don't answer. Block that phone number. We have the capability to do that. They may try to call you from another number. If you don't know that number, don't answer it. Block that one. And if you really want to find out the truth, once all this is over, and you think maybe there might be the possibility that there's something going on, go to your your computer, go to the website of your utility company, open up your account, take a look. Mortgage companies, I've had it my own self, have gotten an email from my mortgage company, and it looked legit, that I didn't pay my mortgage. So I just went on, checked my mortgage, and went, oh, yep, that payment went through. This is a scam. It is that easy to protect yourself from being taken from several thousands of dollars. Okay, family and friends impersonation. This one right here is known as the grandparent scam. This is where the scammers pretend to be a loved one, and they call you in a panic. They know your name. They know your grandchild's name or your child's name. They know the family member that they're trying to impersonate. They know their information. Grandma, I've just been involved in a wreck. I'm at the hospital. I got to pay $5,000. This person will sound like your grandchild, thanks to AI. Stealing our voices. Creating images, because we post everything on social media. So can they go in there and say, oh, yeah, look, this is a family member. Let me crop this picture. Let me create this video that I'm in the hospital. And then they're calling you or whatever, and they sound like that. And so what are they doing? They're instilling that fear in you and that panic. And of course, if your grandchild or your child is in trouble and they need help, what does us as parents do? We help them. And we send that money without even thinking about it. So we've come up with a way, when you get something like this, create a safe word with your family members. Okay? So if you get that call and it sounds like your grandchild, they're wanting money, say, okay, sweetheart, well, give me the password and I'll send you that money. And then you'll hear crickets. Because they don't know the password. Or the safe word that you as a family have created. Because only y'all know it, right? The crook can't get that. The scammer don't know that safe word. They'll say they've been arrested and they're in jail and they need bail money. That's another one that they use to get out of jail. I got to have $7,500. I've been arrested. I got a DUI. I just want to get out of jail. And they play on that love that you have for them and that sympathy. And, of course, there you go again. They're instilling that sense of urgency. And so, again, okay, well, what is our password or our safe word? Or even ask them something that only that individual would know. Maybe a fishing trip that y'all took together. You know, where did we go camping and do, and you caught that big fish? Just something. Because in today's world, we possibly could get a phone call from one of our children, our grandchildren, and they really are in trouble. If you've got that safe word or something that only they know and you can actually verify their identity, then you're going to know that's really them. And then you're not hanging up or saying, no, that's a scam, and then it really be a family member. So the safe word or something that ask them something only they would know is a great way to make sure you're talking to a family member. Romance scams. In romance scams, a criminal will create, or the scammer, the fraudster, as I like to call them, they create a profile. Social media, Facebook, TikTok, all of those platforms that everybody's on. There's so many. And they create this good-looking guy, this good-looking lady, and they're wanting, and dating sites are a big one for this one, okay? Dating sites are a really big one. They're looking for a relationship. So they get someone. And with this one, what they do is they start to earn your trust. Right now, we're starting out as friends. Then it's going to move into like romantic, this illusion of a romantic relationship. They will make promises that they'll come and visit you. This will never happen. They will never come and visit you, ever. It's kind of like they're playing on the lonely hearts of people. and everybody wants somebody, and this is how they get away with this. They start talking about future marriage plans and a happy ever ending, right? Well, then once they've got that trust in that individual, once they've sealed that relationship, and they're going to know when they've sealed that relationship, they are going to start telling you about some troubles they're having, and they need money, or I can't make my car payment this month. I got fired from my job. Can you help me make my car payment? And then you send them the money to make their car payment, because now you're feeling love for this individual that you've never met. And these have truly, truly happened. And these individuals that do this play on the most sensitive thing that we all hold dear, and that's our compassion and our love. And they will take and bleed you dry, and then leave you standing there and you've lost everything because of it. And then they disappear. When you tell them you can't pay them anymore, you're not going to send them any more money, they will never talk to you again. So if this is happening to anybody right now in your life, if you're involved in any kind of online relationship and you feel like you are in this at this very moment, you just need to say, don't ask me for any more money, cut it off, end it. And another thing, if someone you meet online asks for your account information, your banking information, so they can make a deposit into your account, this is a clear sign that they are probably scamming other individuals, and they need a place to put the money. So they're asking you for your account information so that they can have that money deposited into your account. Now, then it comes to me, and I'm pulling financials, and I see your name on that account where all of this money has gone, because one of these victims is going to come forward and want to do a police report, right? I'm going to get it, and then I'm going to call you, and I'm going to go, why you got all this money? We need to talk about this. Are you taking this money from these people? Because that's the way it looks on this end, right? Now, normally, this fraudster here, if you've given him that information, you've probably given him access to the account too. So once the money goes in, he's pulling the money out. And these things are truly, truly happening in this day and age. Email scams. Email scams are phishing. They use fake emails to trick you into giving up your personal information or clicking on malicious links. I've given you an example of an email address using my stuff. It says Michelle/Rose at mysanibel.us.gov, but it's got the little dash mark com. That's a fake email address. Does anybody know in here how you know that's a fake email address? Because of the dash. It is gov.com. Michelle.Rose. It don't have these little dashes. Okay? That could be one thing to look for. And there's other things to look for in these emails. A sense of urgency. Here we go again. Poor grammar. Look at the spelling. Or unusual pleasantries. In this day and time, pleasantries are not so, I don't even know what the word, oozing with sweetness. They're not sugar, okay? These types of emails, thank you so much, ma'am. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Just rolling off sweet and thick. Okay, that's very unusual in today's world. Pleasantries are, hello, good afternoon, and a thank you at the end, you know. But unusual pleasantries can be a clue. Suspicious links or attachments. Never, ever click on attachments in a suspicious email. So how do you find out if this is a fake email? Say you're getting something from Bank of America. It looks legit. It says Bank of America, right? You click on it, and you open it up. And then it says, view your account, and you click on that link. Well, guess what? You have just given them complete control because they have just put spyware, a virus, they have just installed that on your computer. Okay? So, the address line, you can click on the address line where it says to me, it'll say Bank of America and to me. But if you click on that and drop that window down, you will see actually where that email came from. And I promise you it doesn't say Bank of America.
So you click on the sender's address?
Yes, you can click on the address block. You can click on it. If you want to, open up your phone right now, go to your emails and just click and see how it drops down. Now, in today's world, I am seeing, the little blue check mark. Okay, well, the little blue check mark is supposed to let us know that this is legitimate, that it is not fraud. However, the criminals are always one step above, and we got to catch up with them because they're coming up with new things. Well, what's to say they're not now doing the purple check mark? But we see a check mark, so it's good, right? No. Click on that line before you click on anything. And any of us can become a victim. None of us are safe from what these individuals can do. Tech support scams. Scammers will contact you claiming to be from a tech company like Microsoft and Apple and say that your computer has been infected and you could lose all your sensitive information, your banking, your passcodes, your family portraits, something that we all hold dear, financial records. They then ask for remote access to fix the problem. Well, you go and give them your password to your computer, your other safeguarded information that you use to open up your own computer. You give it to them. Now they have full control. They have full control of everything. They can find out everything they want about you. They can get into your financial records, your retirement funds, and everything. You could get a virus alert on your computer screen. Kind of looks like this little skull. Now, this is an older one, but it is still being used. I'm sure of it. I haven't seen it in a while. But if you get this on your computer, you cannot control your computer. You are locked out. You can't cut it off with the keys. Okay? You can't click escape, escape, escape. You can't do nothing. You can't exit out. You cannot do nothing. So if you ever get this and it says, give us a phone call, you have a virus and you pay us so much money and we can fix this. No, don't do that. Unplug your computer from the wall. Unplug it from the power source. That is simple. All you have to do, unplug it from its power source, leave it off a few minutes. You come back 5 or 10 minutes later, plug it back up, boot your computer back up. I promise you this will be gone. This is, well, the thing about it is, if this comes up on your computer, and I don't know about phones, but on your computers, if you get the little skull thing with the warning, I've still seen them, on computers, and then they give you a number to contact tech support. Don't do that. Unplug your computer because you can't control it. Just unplug it, leave it disconnected.
But if it's on battery, wireless,
Take the battery out. Just disconnect it from its power.
pushing the button,
Right. And don't call the number. Yeah. Yeah. If you're working on your battery, pull the battery out. If you're plugged into a wall, the old-fashioned ones, we got the big tower CPU, unplug the power source and just leave it off.
But then when you open back up, the bad guys are in your computer.
No, they're not, because you haven't given them access. See, that's the thing. This comes up, and they say, call tech support, but you're sitting there, and you're going to call tech support because you can't work your computer. You can't get out of this box. You can't do anything. It locks you out. So they don't have access yet. But the moment you say, okay, I can't get into my computer, and you call that number, and you pay them the money and you give them all your passwords and everything to boot your system, they got you. Okay? So just disconnect it from its power source. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin wallet. All right, cryptocurrency job scams. Cryptocurrency job scams begins when the scammer is masquerading as employees or legitimate companies to recruit victims and require them to deposit their own money to complete a job. They will convince you to take out cash and deposit it into a Bitcoin machine. So you go take out cash and you go over, Jerry's has got a cryptocurrency or a Bitcoin machine out there. They'll tell you to take it out there and put your cash in there. Once that goes, it's gone. So examples of this are, you get the little emails or text messages on your phone. I saw your resume on Indeed.com. I'd love to offer you a great opportunity. No. If you have submitted your resume on Indeed.com looking for a job, the employer themselves would probably call you to set up for an interview. These emails or text messages, because they don't communicate with you through text messages. They might communicate with you through email on a kind of a job, but not in a text message. Ever. So you'll click on, you'll call them. Then they'll start talking about how you can work from home, making $100 an hour up to $1,000 a day. This is a scam. It is a scam. You don't have to pay for a job. The job is supposed to pay you, right? So don't go taking out $25,000 to. One of them that I got was to mine for Bitcoin. I don't understand cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and mining for it, but I think they've got the idea from some video game, from my understanding. And you pay to mine, and the more you mine, you're supposed to be able to make more Bitcoin. But you never finish the level. You never complete the game before you got to shove more money in there to keep playing, to keep mining. That's one of them I have seen. Okay? So just remember, if anybody wants you to take out cash and put it in a Bitcoin machine, stop. Danger, Will Robinson. Right? Don't ever put your money in a Bitcoin machine. Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is supposed to be for your investment, something that you know you're doing it. But please understand, if you're doing that, you understand what your own investment portfolio. Don't let somebody else tell you, oh yeah, go put this in the Bitcoin machine and you can make money. No. No. Absolutely not. Skimming still occurs. Let's just say one day you get a bill from your credit card company, your own credit card company, that you spent $5,000 in New York City at one of those high-dollar shop places. I don't even know all the ones that could be in New York, but let's just say. And you're going, well, I didn't go to New York and go shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue. I didn't spend this. And you're sitting here thinking, how did this happen? Well, here's the way it could happen. Skimming. We put our debit cards and our credit cards in everything. We are becoming a cashless society. We're skimming this. We're going out to dinner. We are literally handing our financial card to a waiter, and they're going away with it. Well, you don't know that back there in the kitchen, before they tally you up in the register, they got a skimmer on them, and they're going, skim? They're skimming your card, and that skimmer picks up your credit card number, your number, the real credit card number, because that's what's in that strip. What's in the strip should match what's printed on the front, right? So they skim, they got your number, then they go and create a fake credit card using your number. And then they go shopping, and then you get the bill because that number's linked to you. This is how that could happen. pumps, when you pay for gas and everything. This is just a way that they can get your information and your financial information is through these skimmers. Sextortion. This one right here is younger adults and teenagers. Social media and everything is so instant. We can take nudie pictures and we can send them. And the younger generation are involved in this type of activity. Well, what happens here is somebody is sending explicit photos to somebody that they met online. And then this person asks for a few more, and he gets all these nudie pictures, and then the extortion starts. If you don't pay, I'm going to put this all over the internet, all over your school. I'm going to tell your family, your church, everybody's going to see this. But to keep quiet, you need to pay me this money. Well, the young people in our world, this scares them to death, right? And they may be trying to steal from their parents to pay this individual just so that everybody at school don't see these naked pictures of them. You know, if you get something like this, if your kids or your grandkids are saying, come to you and say, this is happening, I feel embarrassed, or they're ashamed, or they're scared, you may not know that this is going on for a really long time. And this could be detrimental to the person that it's happening to. And that's what sextortion is. It's taking the photos that you're willingly sending and then trying to extort money out of you to instilling, again, there's that fear that we're going to do this. You just stop. You don't pay. You can do a police report, but you don't pay. And get rid of whoever that is. Block that person. No, normally they don't. I haven't seen it where they do, but here's the thing. They could, because they've got the pictures. It's a gamble. You know, it could be a gamble. I'm not paying you. Put them out there. Who doesn't know what a naked body looks like? You know what I mean? Right. But if you pay them and you keep paying them, you're thinking you're protecting your, reputation. And you don't want, oh my God, if they put this out there, my parents are going to see this, my grandparents are going to see it. It scares them greatly. So if, I tell people when I do this presentation, if you've got young adult children, teenage grandkids, and they're living with you or whatever, you just need to know what they're doing online. But kids are very secretive. They're smarter than me. Like, technology moves so fast, I can't keep up with it. But kids this day, wow. They know how to work it as soon as it changes, because they're always like this. And they're always on the phones. Not me. Okay, how to protect yourself. Again, we're going to go over this one more time. You're going to verify the request that these individuals are calling you. Never provide your personal or financial information, your social security number, banking details, or gift card numbers to anyone over the phone, via email, or through an online pop-up window. Simple, pick up the phone, call your creditor, see if this is legit. Oh, and by the way, don't call the number they're calling you from. Go on and get their real customer service number and call that one that you get online. Stay skeptical. Scammers often pose as law enforcement, government agencies, utility companies to pressure you into making immediate payments. Remember, legitimate organizations do not ever ask for cash, wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or prepaid credit cards. Okay, ever. Hang up the phone, call back. We've talked about that one. Avoid unsolicited tech support stuff, as we talked about. You see the skeleton, the skull. Don't call that number. Tech support scams often involve pop-ups and phone calls claiming your device is compromised. Do not allow remote access. Don't give them any of the information where they can remotely access your phone or your computer. Check before you click. As we talked about, check on that address line on your emails. let it drop down, and you will see the real email address from where it comes from. And if it doesn't say Bank of America or something that is a legitimate financial institution that is yours, do not open that. Delete, report junk, okay? Guard your money. Be cautious of any request for wire transfer, prepaid cards, and cryptocurrencies. These are all red flags for fraud, every one of them. Now, this is a slide I've added because I've had a lot of these cases right here as of Hurricane Ian. So just be mindful about contractor fraud. Research the company. We've had a big storm. Everybody was desperate to get their homes repaired. Contractors were flooded with work. They had more work than they could handle. So they called out subcontractors, right? When you hire a contractor to do any repairs on your home, the first things you want to do is you want to go check Sunbiz. You want to look at the GC license number, the company's name, and then when you find the company, you see the GC license and who that is affiliated, who holds the license number, because he stands to be in trouble as well if anything goes wrong. Okay? Go to the DBPR, research that license number, see if they are active, how long they've been in business. Is their license suspended, or has it ever been suspended, and why? Or is it revoked? You can find these things out on the DBPR when you do your research. Better Business Bureau, that's where you can find complaints and things. You can also find that on the DBPR. What has happened is, when all of this happened, we had the scammers coming out here. We were all desperate to have the work done on our house, and we were going, oh yeah, I work for so-and-so, this is the GC license number. You see the GC license number, which is your contractor's license, and you think it's legit, so you sign a contract. You know, you go into contract. You pay your money down. Then they never go get permits. They keep giving you excuses as to why they haven't started a job. Oh, we've got this problem, we got this problem. And they could, I've had a death in the family. And you're literally screaming at them. And then they say, okay, well, all the material, I got all the material, I need to get it fabricated, I need you to send me some more money so we can get the fabrication done. But the whole time you're going, but where's the permits? You haven't given, or you haven't even applied for permits. So I talked to a contractor, a gentleman that actually holds the GC license. What I have discovered is a lot of companies who do things like pool cages and fences and drywall and electrical, they have these companies, but they don't have a contractor's license. What they do is they get a qualifier. The qualifier is the one who holds that GC license. He's the one that went and took the test and passed it, right? And if he qualifies a company, that company is working under his license number, okay? So if you start having a problem where they didn't get the permit, call the qualifier. Get in touch with the qualifier, because the qualifier in a lot of these, he's not aware of the day-to-day operations of what's going on in this company. He finds out when I come along. In some cases, not all. Some contractors with their license, they're involved in their business. They own 51%, whereas the person they're qualifying may only have 49% stake in that company. But the person that holds that GC license does not want this mess on him. So just be very mindful of that. And another thing, 50% down, you know, when they give you the pay schedule and they're asking for a large amount of money down, there's something wrong there. Because a legitimate contractor, the pay schedule is somewhere between 10 to 20, maybe even up to 30% up front, depending on what kind of job you want done. Then you pay your schedules, your 30 and your 40. And then you probably owe at the end of it maybe 10 to 5% at the end. So, they have to do the work, ladies and gentlemen, before you pay them any more money. Don't let them say, oh, well, you got to give me some more money. That's just what, no. I gave you 20, 30% down. You're going to complete this work. We're going to have permits. Then we're going to get started. Okay? And then as we progress on, I'll give you another 40% because now, you've laid the concrete slab and the pavers. Now we want to put up our pool cage. It's in steps. 50% down is a red flag for contractor fraud. So protect yourselves, protect your money, protect your identity by not giving it to them to use against you. Okay. Floor is open for any questions. Yes, sir.
I got a really bad one. I just didn't think would happen.
A year ago, all of a sudden, I wasn't getting my Social Security check anymore.
Okay.
I called Social Security and said, well, we're sending it to the new bank that you gave us. Well, I have no idea how somebody could have gotten my Social Security number. I have no idea how Social Security could have changed the bank without some kind of proof or some kind of documentation that they were sending it to a new bank.
Mm-hmm. And that is the dark web. When I was explaining how the dark web can infiltrate the IRS, they infiltrated the IRS. And they infiltrated Social Security Administration. They get all that information, and they redact it out, or they retract it out. And then they just go and do what they want to with it. They stole your money. And I will tell you, I will never be able to figure out who committed the crime, because to prove in court that this person committed the crime, I have to prove that they did it, and I have to have evidence that they did it. Well, now, your computer, it has an IP address, but you can have a VPN, and the IP addresses can change, VPNs, and I'm not a tech person, I know nothing about computers, but what I understand about VPN numbers, and I think, is that a paid service to have a VPN? Yes. Okay, so people can have a VPN, and when you're using your phone, you're using your computer, well, it's bouncing all over the world. I can't track that down. I can't prove who's behind the computer committing these crimes. That's why this is so important to me to get out to you guys, because we will not figure out who's doing it. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, once that money goes into that machine, it's weird. We had FDLE tracks the Bitcoin wallets. It looked like a train track with depots. All these wallets were coming off, and a little bit of $3 of your money went to this Bitcoin wallet, $100 of your money went to this one, $15,000 of your money went to this, and we followed it all the way to, I believe, Cambodia. By the time it got there, that wallet was empty, meaning the money had already been taken out. And from my understanding, what I learned from this is the big wallet is linked to terrorism. And this is according to FDLE. So they did tell me, FDLE did tell me that if it's a large sum of money and we're able to track it to this Bitcoin wallet, if there's any money in that wallet that we have tracked, it's got to be over $10,000 in that wallet before the government will seize that wallet and get that money out. If that wallet does not have over $10,000, your money is gone. There's nothing I can do for you. I can't make an arrest. I can't get the money back. That's why I'm just so passionate about teaching this, because guys, they're smart. So, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So just remember that. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I have received numerous emails from legitimate companies, like insurance companies, Home Depot, places like that, offering a free gift.
Mm-hmm.
Rather substantial value, if I, provide them my information.
Right, anything asking you for your information?
It seems like it's really taken off in the last.
Yes, it is. It is a major problem, and I see it every day coming on my desk. Yes, sir, Ed.
Is there anything to do with the emails, you don't touch it, you delete it? Is there a service or is somebody, the example is you get your phone,
Mm-hmm.
actually iPhones now, I've got a guy that says who are you? And if they don't answer the right questions, it doesn't go to voicemail.
Right.
So we're getting smarter with technology.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're collective to them, and if you see a trend that there's, 10,000 of these things coming in from all of us,
Mm-hmm.
let's go get them.
Right, and that's the thing, is technology, there's so many moving parts, so many components. There are so many ways people, these fraudsters, can commit these crimes, and they go undetected because they know how to do it.
So the citizen that wants to save the world, that just delete it or just move on, is that the deal? We're not gonna get the bad guys.
In some cases, in a lot of these kind of cases, I can't get the bad guy because they're smart. The dark web, and I'm sure we've all, has anybody ever seen the movie The Beekeeper? Okay, the Beekeeper kind of gives you an idea. It's a Statham movie. It's very good. Kind of gives you an idea of how these people work. It's this big room, and it's got all these computers, and these people are cold calling people, and they're getting their money, and the big guys up there looking, oh, we've made $1 million today. You should watch The Beekeeper. It kind of gives you an idea about how it's done, but, it's also TV, but,
Today is just
protect yourself.
away from them.
Yep.
Because I got on some list in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 300,
Yeah.
I just block it, but I went to my folder.
Mm-hmm.
There's over 100 phone numbers.
Yes.
And on my phone, you can go back and see who you blocked.
Yes.
I mean,
And
is there a trend in there or something?
so Google is a wonderful thing. All these phone numbers that are coming up on your phone, if you take that phone number that's coming up in your text messages or your phone calls, you take that phone number, like say if it's from your mortgage company, because this is how I figured, some things out. It's this phone number, and you take that phone number, you put it into Google in the search bar, and it'll tell you that phone number is linked to a scam. Easy. Yes, sir.
I was going to say the important thing that you said is the thing when you look at the tagline where it's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
because you get stuff like from Bank of America, but you look at the tagline, it says like big funky monkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not going to be Bank of America.
Right.
And the banks will always send you an email saying, well, you have an important message in your online account.
Yep.
And you go into your online account.
Yep.
They will never ask you this stuff there.
Right.
But when you see it, so you just, that stuff right away is a teller that
Yeah.
there's something not right here. The other thing you said earlier about when you unplug the computer, a lot of computers now have built-in batteries, so you can't do that. She's gotten a couple of scams where you lock the thing.
Okay.
If you go on another computer or on your phone, you can find that scam
Mm-hmm.
online, and they will tell you, like, she's gotten a couple where you have to hit Control-Alt-Delete, and the thing, and it just is.
So the Control-Alt-Delete will work?
Well, on that specific.
Oh, okay.
scam, when you have another computer or device where you find the scam, so, oh yeah, we know that's Google, that's the scam, and they tell you the solution.
Okay, so Google tells you how. That's good to know. See, I didn't know that. I've learned something.
Get out of that scam.
Okay.
Yeah, she's done a couple, I look it up, Control-Alt-Delete, but there may be other ones that are different ways to get out of it, but absolutely never call.
Yeah.
But you are scared, because
Yeah.
you're frustrated, and it's there. And another big one that stopped happening, but was happening for quite a while, at the same time, because we got it all the time,
Mhm.
was they were so good, they know the day that you were
Mhm.
and they will send me an email saying we can't take out the money. And, we can't take out the money because your bank account changed.
Yes.
And they'll tell you we're gonna cut off your
Yes.
service tomorrow, which of course they would never do. They never turn off your power tomorrow or anything tomorrow, maybe in a month or 2 months, but they would never do it immediately. But of course you sit there because they're gonna turn off my TV.
Yeah.
And they're gonna turn off the power, and you can't do it.
Exactly.
Get away from it.
So that, yeah, and so with all that being said, the smartest thing to do is if all this is happening, contact the creditor yourself at their customer service number. Yes, sir.
Just kind of something came to mind. So your credit cards have a lot of, they call them filters or limits. So my credit card, if this card's not there, and it's over a certain amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
I get an email, they have instructions not to pay.
Yes.
Because then what happens is they'll come back and say, okay, this is your mortgage company. And you go back to your credit card company and say, well, this person with a verified thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to do that.
So you all do know that you can lock your credit cards on your apps, right?
If you don't like it, then
So, yeah, on your online banking and your credit card, you can go into your credit cards with your online banking and you can lock it. Okay? And then when you want to use it, you can go into your phone and unlock it for you to use. Because now, we don't have the cards anymore. We just go up and we do this. We're paying like this. So when you're doing that, you can unlock it. And then, yeah. And so you don't have to leave your credit card open anymore for just anybody to get and to use. Another thing on scams too, there is a new one. I just saw it yesterday and I'm glad I remembered. Department of Motor Vehicles. Lady showed it to me yesterday, said you gotta pay these tickets. If you don't pay these tickets, we're gonna suspend your driver's license. Again, what is it? Fear. I'm gonna lose my license.
Unpaid tolls.
Unpaid tolls. Oh, unpaid parking. Yeah.
sister-in-law came over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, I said, it went somewhere. She got a text while she was at her house saying, you can pay your toll now.
Yeah.
And she's from out of town, she said,
Yeah.
but they knew that day. So somebody's sitting there, you talk about the skimmer, it's not next to your physical device. It couldn't even pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, technology is something that I don't understand all of it. I'm just seeing things that are happening. Yes, ma'am.
Think AI can, or it can be, should be regulated by the government. It sounds like it's just getting more and more control and will get us eventually.
Yeah. AI is such a new thing. A lot of people like it, it seems to make life a little easier, but it is going to present a problem, just like anything else does.
Do you think that the government should be paying attention to this and making some thinking about it?
I'm sure they are.
No, they're not.
Oh. Well, you know what I think about these kind of things, that's just something I'd like to keep to myself, what I think. But AI is artificial intelligence. And I'm still learning about AI and how it's going to be used to commit these kinds of crimes. So I'm just like everybody else. It's in its infancy stage right now.
Which is terrible.
Yeah. Yes. So this is another reason why I think this is so important. Know your finances. Know how you pay your bills. I pay mine, like I said, on my company's website. I don't deviate from that. And if I get something strange, I look at it and I'm like, yep, that's a scam. And I just don't fall for it. And it's delete, report junk, report scam. Now on my phone, I have it set up to block spam calls. Now I don't, the phone company did it for me. I can't sit here and explain to y'all how to do it, but there is a way you can set in your phone that anything that comes up like a spam, your phone won't even let it ring to you. It won't even let the phone call come through. So there is a way to do that.
Is there one other suggestion you should tell people, because I read this or saw somewhere, with credit cards, when you get emails or you get something, never call the number that's in the email, and never even Google it online. Always take the credit card, flip it over, call the number that's
On the back.
on the back
Yep.
of your credit card.
Yep.
And then that will get you to the right place, and more often than not, they'll tell you what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just to bounce off that, when you said something about the, gas station and the server might be swiped to the
Mhm.
credit card. So do you call your credit card and will they?
Yes, so here's what happens. If your credit card is compromised, you fill out a form. The credit card company will send you a form. It's a big packet. They will tell you you have to do a police report because they're going to want the police report case number to go with that packet, okay? And you'll fill out the packet, you'll send it back, and then they will do the investigation into that. And what they simply do is they go back and see, how you spend your money, your normal practices. So, for instance, if you ate dinner last night in Florida at 8 o'clock at night and you paid for your meal, and then it's showing that next morning you're at Saks Fifth Avenue in New York, that's not normal. And they can see that. They know your activity. My bank picked up on something. Bank of America picked up on something. I ordered a book off of Facebook. And as soon as I did it, Bank of America denied the purchase. And thank goodness they did. You want to know why? Because I had 10 more transactions come through. $70, $70, $70. So, never again will I ever order anything from a Facebook ad. Lesson learned. And my bank picked it up and didn't pay any of them.
I was just in California, I was out there on business and went out to dinner with some people that paid with a credit card. And the next morning I got a call from the credit card company. Are you buying a big screen TV in California?
No, I mean,
I don't think I want to carry it home with me on the airplane. No, so one of the waiters was fishing.
yes, yeah, yes, absolutely. And so just stay alert. Everything, just stay alert. Again, remember that urgency and the fear that they will instill. We are going to come and arrest you. Okay, well, come on. I'm waiting on you. Hey, click. You know you're not going to be arrested. We're not going to do that. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I hope this has been informative. Thank you.
Nice service.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.